Good afternoon everybody and welcome to Quirky Kitchen. My name is Jane and the reason it's called Quirky Kitchen is because I don't follow any of the rules. I don't really follow recipes unless it's baking. I just like to do things my own way, and what I'm doing today is a minestrone soup. I'm doing a soup even though I live in Spain and it's very hot, for somebody who's quite poorly and just coming out of hospital tomorrow, and I think he needs some nice wholesome soups. So this is a minestrone. It's got Italian herbs in, it's got a little bit of garlic, but it's not the classic minestrone. Again, it's my quirky version of it. I have most of my ingredients over by the cooker, so when I go to put it on, you will see what I'm putting in, but I'll just show you here. I've literally gone into my fridge and I've got every bit of vegetable that I could find. So in here I have some leeks, some onion, some carrot, some green beans, some courgettes, one small potato, and normally I would put celery in, but there was no celery in the shops. It's quite hard to get at this time of the year. I'm also going to finish off with a bit of fresh spinach, and this is some fresh tomato that I've taken the skin off. The rest of the ingredients I'll show you later. In here are a mixture of fresh herbs, parsley, basil and some romero, which is rosemary. Really, fresh herbs are much better than the dried herbs. I prefer to do everything with fresh herbs, but I can't get everything. So a lot of this will be done with dried herbs as well. Okay. Now to continue with the minestrone soup. This is a spray actually, I think it's a garden spray that I use to put the olive oil in. I've only put 2 squirts of it. So we have the 2 squirts of the olive oil in the pan. You can see there's not much in there. Now I'm going to put the mixture of all the vegetables that I told you about. Only thing missing there is celery. Actually, it doesn't matter what you put in, just anything that you've got in your fridge. I haven't got mushrooms in here either because I didn't have mushrooms. So it's not really that important, but classically it should always have leek, celery and carrot, and then the rest of it is optional. Now what I'm trying to do now is just seal these. It's on high at the moment. I'll put it a little bit down so we don't want anything burnt. With that I'm going to put half a clove of garlic. I would hate to have a soup unless it was a garlic soup that tasted of garlic. So this will give it just a mild fragrance. So while this is sealing, I'm going to put the rest of the ingredients. First of all, we have the mixture of the sea salt and Himalaya salt. That's going in. Now this actual grinder doesn't seem to work very well, so I have to do it for quite a long time. Or maybe taste it at the end and put a wee bit more in. Okay. Then we have black pepper. I like things to be peppery but not overpowering, so a little bit more pepper than salt. Then we have sweet paprika. Actually, Marco normally has a mixture of this, but I always put it in separately. Quite a bit of paprika. Can you see what I'm putting in? This is tomillo, which is thyme. Again, I would have preferred to use fresh, but there isn't any, and I haven't been to the shops today. It's Sunday and I haven't been out. Oregano. Everything Italian has oregano, and it's not coming out of here very well, so we'll try this side there. Oregano. A little bit more of the thyme because that wasn't coming out properly. There. Okay, nice stir around. Now by now, I think the vegetables are beginning to have been sealed. This actually brings out more flavour. If you just put water into those vegetables, it doesn't taste the same. So what I'm going to do now is put in the fresh tomato that has been skinned. There. Then half a teaspoonful of sugar. Then the fresh herbs. Basil, rosemary and parsley. A lot of those. Italian minestrone always has a lot of fresh herbs in it. Then we have, I'm not doing it vegetarian because I'm using chicken stock. If you wanted it vegan or vegetarian, then you must use vegetable stock. But because I had some chicken stock left over from a meal yesterday, boiled up the bones, I have chicken stock here. So we'll put all that chicken stock in and possibly a little bit of water. Now this has to boil up, but before we get that going, we'll add a Liam Perrins. I like a lot of Liam Perrins in soup. It's a perfect thing for flavouring the soup. I'm going to put a little bit of Maggi in as well. Maggi is more bitter than Liam Perrins, but it does the same job. There. Now all of this has to boil up until the vegetables are cooked. Just before they're cooked, I'm going to add the small pieces of pasta. You can see them there, but not yet. Now just to give it a little bit more strength of flavour, say a dessert spoonful of tomato puree. Tomato puree is always a little bit bitter, so that's why we have to have the sugar. The spinach and the, they're called fideos here, but the small pasta-y bits go in right at the end and we just cook it. So back to you later to show you the finished product. The vegetables are now slightly al dente, so we're going to add the fine noodles. Now you always have to be careful what you put in because it looks like nothing, but believe me, they thicken up and will overpower it very soon. So I'm not going to put any more than that in. Is that right, Marco? Do you reckon?
Yeah, I guess so. We'll see the result.
Yes. If I need to put more, I can. We'll see how it goes.
You always can actually boil them separate in water as well and add it if you want to.
No. No, because you get the flavour into the noodles.
But if you want more noodles to add, you can do that.
So this is going to go up a little bit. Now, I want to add a little bit of acidity to this. So I'm going to just do, this is balsamic vinegar. I'm going to put a little bit of that in. You saw how much I put in. And a little bit of lemon juice. Because an Italian flavour has a little bit of acidity to it as well. Or, of course, you could put white wine, or red wine even. This is spinach, just going in at the last minute. All that needs to do is wilt. And then I'll come back to you in a minute and show you how the fideos or fine noodles have expanded. And it will be quite a thick soup, which actually you could probably water down and make more of it, but I'm keeping it as a nice thick wholesome soup. Just to show you the finished result, this is a beautiful thick wholesome soup. You can see it's not got too many of the noodles in. It was only a very small amount that I put in, and you can serve this with fresh grated parmesan on the top when you serve it, and it's absolutely a delicate, beautiful Italian flavour.